Right now, this very second, you're inside an experiment. Not the kind where someone asks for permission, the kind that's already running. Your notifications are hitting at a specific time because of A/B testing. The color of that button you're about to click? Tested. The order your feed refreshes in? Tested against 4 other versions you've never seen. Spotify knows exactly when in your day you're most likely to tap like on a song. Instagram knows the specific shade of filter that makes you pause longest. TikTok knows the exact frame rate that keeps you scrolling. None of this is accident. This is mathematics. This is hundreds of simultaneous experiments running on you every single day without your knowledge or consent. But here's where it gets uncomfortable. They're not trying to trick you. They're just optimizing, and that's somehow worse. Let me tell you what this actually looks like. 3 months ago, I noticed something weird about Instagram. My feed was loading slower some days and faster on others. Not buffering, purposefully slow. I thought my phone was dying. Then it occurred to me, maybe that's the test. Maybe they're measuring if you stay longer when you wait for the feed to load, so you have time to settle in, to commit. I started tracking it. Slower load days, I stayed in the app longer. And I wasn't alone. Everyone I asked had noticed the same pattern. But no one had a name for what was happening. We just accepted it as normal. That's the operation. That's how it works. They test something, you don't notice, it becomes your reality. This is called A/B testing. Here's how it actually functions. You take one variable, change it, show version A to half your users and version B to the other half. Measure what happens. Which button color gets more clicks? Version A or version B? Which notification time makes people open the app more? Which thumbnail on YouTube keeps watch time longer? 3 p.m. or 5 p.m.? Red or blue? Short pause or long pause? The winning version stays. The losing version deletes. You ship the winner to everybody. Then you A/B test something else. The operation never stops. Meta runs approximately 10,000 A/B tests per year. That's 27 experiments per day, every day, for years. Meaning every single feature you interact with has been tested, refined, tested again, and optimized against versions of itself that you'll never see. Google, Netflix, Spotify, TikTok, they're all running the same playbook. Thousands of simultaneous experiments. The only difference is the variable being tested. And the variable is always something designed to measure one thing. How much of your time can we capture? Because time is the product. You're not the customer. You're the product. Advertisers are the customers. And advertisers pay based on how much attention you've given. So every color, every pause, every notification time, it's all optimized to make you stay longer. Here's the one that actually broke the internet. Around 2017, someone at Facebook noticed something. Users spent less time on the app when the newsfeed autoplayed videos. But here's the thing. Users also felt better when videos autoplayed. They watched more content. They weren't as bored, so there's this gap, behavior versus feeling. So they tested a version where videos autoplayed with sound just to see what happened. Turns out, people stay even longer when the video sounds like it's happening right in the room with them. You hear a voice, you look up, you watch, you stay. That feature isn't there because it's better for you, it's there because it's better for watch time. But by the time most people realized it was a test, it was already permanent. It was just how your feed worked now. And now you can't turn it off. Well, you can, but the default is the version that kept people longest. That's the pattern. The winning version doesn't get labeled as optimized. It just becomes the new normal. You forget there was ever an alternative. But here's where it starts to get darker. The tests aren't just about features. They're about psychology, about what makes you feel certain things, so you stay longer. Instagram tested different shades of red for notifications. Brighter red, you open faster. But brighter red also makes some people anxious over time, so they tested middle red. Then they tested, what if the notification number goes up? Like instead of showing you have 1 notification, it shows 3 new likes on your post. More specific, more real, more pull. They tested what happens when you get a heart notification versus a like notification. Literally the same action. Different word. The heart notification gets more dopamine activation. They tested what happens when someone's notification arrives at 10 a.m. versus 3 p.m. Same notification, same person. But 3 p.m., when people are tired at work, when their willpower is lower, gets a higher open rate. They weren't designing these tests to trick you. They were designing them to understand you, to understand what pulls you. And then, this is the part that matters, to maximize that pull. That's not sinister, that's product design. But once you see it, you can't unsee it, because now you know that every single thing designed to get your attention has been tested against 5 other versions, and the version you see is the one that worked best. You're not navigating these platforms, you're navigating optimized versions of someone else's theories about you. And here's the thing nobody talks about. You're actively worse at choosing when you know you're being tested. Psychologists call this reactance. When you know someone is testing you, trying to manipulate your behavior, you stop making choices freely. You either rebel to prove you have agency, or you freeze because you don't know what choice is yours anymore. So Meta and TikTok and Spotify, they don't tell you when you're in a test. Because the moment you know you're in the experiment, you're no longer a reliable data point. Your behavior changes. You become aware of the manipulation. And aware people don't optimize for watch time. Aware people try to escape. So the test runs without you knowing. You're in version B. You feel like you're using Instagram. Really, you're in a controlled variable. Your experience is being measured against version A, which someone else is seeing right now. They see a different shade of red, a different notification time, a different button position. You see what seems like choice. Really, you're seeing optimization. And the tests keep compounding. They test notifications, then they test notification timing, then they test notification language, then they test the sound that plays when the notification arrives, and each test is a small improvement, a small increase in pull, but small improvements compound. Year over year, test after test. The app you use today is 10,000 tests more optimized for your attention than the app you used 3 years ago. Not because it's better at keeping you. This is where people usually get angry or scared, and I get it. It feels like violation, like you're being played, like your free will is an illusion. But here's the reframe. A/B testing isn't new. It's not unique to tech. Restaurants test menu prices. Nike tests shoe colors. Every business that cares about their product has always tested. The version of the shoe you buy has been tested against 5 other versions. The version of the restaurant menu you see has been tested. The difference is scale and invisibility. Netflix tests 1,000 thumbnails per movie. You'll never know you're seeing the version they tested, but someone else is seeing a different thumbnail at the same time. That's not sinister. That's iteration. It's not if they test. It's that you don't know you're being tested. And that's the actual problem. So here's what's actually happening right now. This second, as you watch this, YouTube has A/B tested the thumbnail you clicked. They've A/B tested the recommendation algorithm that led you here. They've tested the autoplay feature that might play the next video without you clicking. They've tested the exact moment the ad appears before you're too invested or after, depending on which version keeps you watching through the ad. This video is in a test. So is every video you'll watch today. You're in hundreds of experiments simultaneously, and you'll never know which version is winning, because you'll only ever see the version they optimized for. So what do you do about it? First, know it's happening. That alone changes something. You might not be able to stop it, but you can be aware that every interface you see has been chosen for you, that the button you're about to click has been tested, that the notification you're about to receive has been timed. Second, understand that this isn't going away. Platforms will keep testing. They have to, because their business model depends on it. You're not going to escape the testing, but you can be intentional about it. Don't let the awareness make you paranoid. Make you intentional. If you know notifications are timed for weakness, silence them at your weak times. If you know feeds are optimized for endless scrolling, set a timer. If you know thumbnails are tested for maximum click pull, recognize that pull when you feel it. You can't opt out, but you can stay conscious. And consciousness is not nothing. Third, remember that you are the optimization. The test works because of you, because your choices, your attention, your time, that's the data. You're not a victim of the test. You're the variable. And variables have all the power. They just don't know it yet. Because here's the truth that platforms don't want you to understand. You have more power than they do. You have your attention, You have your time, you have your choice. They've just gotten very good at making you forget you have it. So now when you scroll and you feel the pull, you'll know what's happening. You'll know that version exists because it tested better. You'll know that notification hit at that exact time because research showed that's when you're most likely to open. You'll know you're in an experiment, and maybe that changes nothing. Maybe you'll stay anyway. Maybe the optimization will still work, but now you'll be choosing. Aware, and that's the only power that matters. You're inside hundreds of tests right now. You have been every day. The version of this platform you're using is the winning version from thousands of tests you never took. But now you know. The experiment isn't hidden anymore. You're still a variable, but you're a variable that sees itself, and that changes everything.